with us from Joe IA Stadium in Ruston, Louisiana. There's nothing quite like a great rivalry matchup in college football. The bitterness, the intensity, the lifetime of memories that will come as a result of what we're about to see in this one. It's the Louisiana Raging Cajuns and the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs. Along with David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. Let's go down to Hollywood with the latest on the weather.
Checking in with Louisiana Tech's head coach pregame. One thing he's got his eyes on, the weather. We weren't sure what to expect today, but this weather has turned out to be beautiful. He said that will have a great impact and be a benefit to his team here today. Back to you.
Holly, thank you. Louisiana Tech will kick it off and we'll be underway. Bringing it out. Stopped at the 17, and he's probably second-guessing that return. So the Louisiana Raging Cajuns offense going to get the chance to start this game off. And the adrenaline is pumping on overdrive in games like this, guys, and it's crucial to get your emotions under control.
No doubt. In rivalry games, you've got to limit the mental errors, and you've got to limit the penalties, because those will kill you, Bob.
And you got to come out under control. It means so much. We know that. The
ball is loose. Defense covering it up and not letting the offense get it back. It's a turnover.
And that's a huge play by the defense. Great job and great effort getting to the ball carrier and swatting at the football, knocking it out, and then falling on for a massive fumble recovery.
This offense has it with really good field position. Now on the move. Nowhere to go on that one. It'll bring up 2nd and 10. The play action fake. The sweet feet buy a little time. He is lucky to get that one back, and the last thing you want is to turn it over on your opening drive. After the incomplete pass, there is a player down on the field. Trainers are out there having a look at this freshman defensive tackle to see if he is going to be able to continue. And they don't want to waste this great field position here on 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. He's going to run it. Breaks into the open. They get him corralled, and he carries it all the way down to the 7-yard line.
And on the 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down, it's the scrambling ability of this quarterback that goes and picks up the 1st down. He was so calm back there.
Makes the grab. Good throw and catch. Takes it down to the 5 as the offense tries to cash in. Now on 2nd and goal. Looking to fire. He's going for the goal line. That completion has them right on the doorstep. They'll mark it at the 1.
I like the aggressiveness by this defense. You got to play tight on the wide receivers. There's not a lot of space on the field. You've got to be aggressive, and you got to make tackles.
They'd love to make this short field pay off with a touchdown instead of settling for 3, but it is 3rd and goal. Touchdown, Bulldogs! Put 6 on the board. They can use this first score to sort of set the tone, guys, in this rivalry matchup.
Man, doesn't this feel good to come out, score early, get the crowd involved, get the nerves out of the way, Palmer, when you're playing in a big rivalry game?
Yeah, and I feel like momentum's always a big thing in any game, but in rivalry games, it's that much more important because everybody is going to feed off that first score now.
The Raging Cajuns offense takes the field to begin this drive. As it turns out, the fumble on that last drive set up the touchdown, David.
And there's no bigger stat in football than turnovers. You turn the football over, they turn it into points. Jesse, that is not a recipe for success.
Good news, though, they get another chance, right? They could make amends with this drive right here. That's all that's important. You've got to execute and you've got to lock in.
Tight end in motion, see how the D reacts. On the ground with the counter. And they'll bring him down after a short pickup.
And I think this is the key in this game, man. These rivalry games, it's about passion, it's about emotion. And coming to this game, we saw him. Last week, man, he had over 100. Last year in the blowout, he was a non-factor. He's got to be the catalyst in this game. You can't have a repeat of what happened a year ago, where you're throwing the football because you're behind and you got beat down. Got to establish the line of scrimmage.
Flushed out of the pocket. There he goes. Nice job to get it past the sticks, and they get him down at the 35. And hold up just a second as we check on the injured player. And the Raging Cajuns come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Grabbed behind the line, it's Johnson. Lowers that shoulder, delivers the blow. He's going to be out of bounds, but not before he gets it to midfield. The Raging Cajuns have this offense rolling. Looking to throw on first down. Fires left. He's got an open man. Finally corralled, but not before. He picks up the first down. And the Raging Cajuns go back to work after moving the chains through the air. DB's locked up tight on the receivers. The run from the shotgun. He's stopped after a 1-yard pickup at the 25. You guys have both played in rivalry games, so what did you do to keep yourself locked in during that week of preparation, David?
Well, you try to keep your emotions in check, but it's really, really hard to do because a lot of times the hatred is so strong. The emotions are so real. The coaches get super tight, and they start talking about things, Jesse, so you don't just treat it as another game.
No, it's hard to handle the anxiety leading up to those games, not just because of what it means to your season, but because of what the fans are saying, what your coaches are saying, what your family and friends are saying, understanding how important those rivalries are.
And the defense makes a play, and they get the quarterback down at the 26.
And the defense gets a sack, and that's going to be the big determining factor in this football game. A week ago, he only got sacked one time. They've already got him on the ground. If they want to win this football game, they got to keep getting after the quarterback.
And this one splits the uprights. That'll bring him to within 4.
Man, so many more times we're going to say, go for it, be aggressive. Nice to have a guy you can depend on, and you know you're putting 3 on the board. Nice kick, nice job.
They'll start this drive from the 18-yard line. Coming out on first down with the play fake. Catch in the middle, it's Wilkerson.
Early in the game, as a DB, I'm settling in. It's okay if I give up 4, 6, 7 yards. I'm just trying to get settled in, gauge the speed, and then later on, I can adjust to the speed of the game.
Looks as if he's going to run it. Jumped on top of the pile.
As a defensive guy now, you're always zoomed in on the quarterback. I mean, these guys, whether they're throwing the football or running it, at least they have the football in their hands every time. You know where they're going to be. You focus in. The defense locked and loaded, understand what they were trying to accomplish, doing a good job getting to the quarterback, and then make those physical hits count. Finish those tackles with aggressive hits. Make that quarterback feel you for a whole length of a game.
Looking downfield on first down. Got a man. It's Wilkerson. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first. Second down, they'll go to the air. Pressure coming. Hit as he throws. And the pass falls incomplete, and we are through 1 quarter. They flipped into the field, and we're ready to play. This offense had a little extra time to think about it. Let's see what they have on third down. The option look. Now the toss. And that might have been a bad read as the defense just swarms all over the pitch man. On fourth down, they'll try to throw it. He lobs one high down the left side. It's dropped, and oh, what a tough way to end this drive. Desperately wanted to keep the ball, but they did not. Couldn't ask for better starting field position for this offense. They'll send the tight end in motion. Keeping it on the ground inside. It's Reagan. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
And this offense on first down, man, they go backwards. And they built a deficit, and they've been sluggish. And they just need something to get going, to get started, because they've kind of looked out of sorts and out of rhythm this whole game.
Strong pass rush gets to the quarterback, and they get him at the 46.
That is how you start a drive. Meet the physical challenge on first down. Rush the quarterback, get the sack on second down, and now put him in a third and long situation. Nice job by this defense.
Quick handoff. He cannot get there. It'll be fourth down. The Raging Cajuns will send out the punt unit. First punt of the day, and he'd love to lock them up close to their goal line. Gets off his first one of the day. He was called on 5 times in the victory last week.
Dude, how about that boom? I mean, you talk about power. That dude just booted that thing halfway across the field, completely flipping the field position and getting it down inside the 10. That is a nice job by that punter.
To the air on first down. Grab behind the line. It's Booth. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few.
The linebacker was not fooled at all. He read his keys. He saw the running back release out of the backfield, and he's got some speed and wheels himself to run with them. And, yeah, the running back made the catch, but he went right down to the ground.
What a job to lay out and make the catch.
And I think great offenses find a way to get their playmakers the football in space. Nice job designing the wheel route. It's good versus man. It's good versus zone. Nice route. Nice catch by the running back.
Behind the chains now on second and long. He might want another play. Wants to throw again. Looking to the big tight end. Makes the grab. It's Finley. Moves it out to the 34-yard line. A nice 15-yard gain on that one.
How about this offense? They're rolling. They got a couple first downs together. Defense. Next, what's your response? What do you got? You got to make some adjustments here.
Off the play fake on first down to throw. And the rush will get to him at the 25.
And the defense needed that one badly. They're losing in this game. They just gave up a big play, so they finally get the sack, but you feel like they're going to need more than that. They're going to need some turnovers to get back in this game.
And the Bulldogs now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. Off the play fake. He wants to go deep. And it falls incomplete, but that could have been disastrous. A defender was right there.
Well, that DB did everything right on that deep shot. You saw the speed, you saw his ability to turn his hips, and how about getting his head around, locating the football, and then knocking it away? Couldn't have done that better.
On third and long, he'll need to loosen up that arm. A strike downfield. A huge play there, and they finally get him out of bounds at the 37.
And that's how you flip the field really quickly. Go from being on your side of the field, creating the explosive play, getting some momentum for this offense, and getting towards scoring position.
Got it in the middle. It's Finley. Brought down just outside the red zone. He moves the chains. It's at the 22. Louisiana Tech back to the line with a fresh set of downs. Wants to throw on first down. Can't make the connection. The pressure there caused the missed timing.
A good job by this defense. Great job in the secondary. Eyes on the quarterback. They took away the first option, made him go to option 2, made him go through his progression, and then they got time to get home and get a hit on the quarterback.
Snagged out of the air. He's there to make the stop, and they threw it in reverse, losing yardage on that play.
And that's why, as a defense, you can stay in your base personnel because of that linebacker. You don't have to substitute DBs to take on these receivers out in space. This linebacker is quick, he's athletic, and he is outstanding tackling people in the open field.
Unloads to the wideout. Picked off to stop the threat. Takes it the other way. He's at the 40, the 20, running through contact. And he's going to take it all the way. Touchdown, Louisiana. The DB saw it. He thought, don't drop it, then thought, don't get caught, and he didn't. The pick 6.
Hey, these guys can play offense, too. Now, look at this. I showed you I can be a wide receiver. Coach might split him out at wide receiver next week after making that big play, but defense, great job making the interception, and you're right, doing something with it. Don't just slide down. Don't be content. Take that thing.
He's got an alley. He's going to get loose. They won't get him. It's a touchdown. Boy, nothing electrifies a stadium quite like a return for a touchdown.
It's always so exciting because you don't see them very often. You got to go so many yards, 80, 90 yards at a time. What a great job by the returners, showing the speed, providing the electricity. There's a reason they're all jacked up, and it's because of that awesome kickoff return.
And no chance at a return. Here they'll start this drive at their own 25. Louisiana has it back, and the Raging Cajun offense headed to the field. They went 3 and out last time. Now they'll look for some plays that work. Tight end now in motion. Looking for a physical attack from the gun. Out to the 36-yard line after gaining 10 on that one. We're at the 2-minute timeout. It's been a good one so far. Opportunity for this offense perhaps to take the lead before halftime. They've got it at the 36. It's a 1st and 10. Dropping back, it's Winfield. That's caught. It's Rockwell. At midfield, he's got room. Big play. Takes him into plus territory. He's out of bounds at the 47. They'll snap it from the 47 on 1st down. Out of the gun. The running back has it. They didn't get a push at all on that one. It'll be no gain on the play. Clock's running, and they'll try to get to the line. Warp speed for 2nd down. Buys a little time. They'll finally get him on the ground, but not before he makes it to the 30 and gets a 1st down.
Man, that's so frustrating, and it happens so fast. He just pulls it down. It looks like pass. He pulls it down, and he's gone. Just like that, chewing up yards. So much speed, so hard to stop.
From the 30-yard line on 1st down. On the run, it's Reagan. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play. Man, what a spectacular play by that defensive end to come up with the tackle there.
And you see those guys get off the football so fast. Most of these guys are 250 to 275 pounds, but they get off the ball fast, low. And the offensive linemen, they have no chance to stop those guys as quick and as fast as they are.
Snagged in the middle, it's Sampson. And he broke 1 tackle on the way to a solid pickup there. The Bulldogs using their 1st timeout. They'll have 2 left to work with before the half. Here comes 3rd and short from the 24, and this offense does not want to send out the field goal unit. From the gun, wants to pass. Floating away. Hard running there. Good effort, but he's going to come up a little bit short. It'll be 4th down and 1. Trying to save time on defense, they use their 2nd timeout. And they'll still have 1 in their pocket for what's left in this 1st half. 4th down, and a field goal's not going to help much. They'll try to keep the drive alive by converting here. He's barely going to make it back to the line of scrimmage, and he'll be stopped short on 4th down. Running inside. It's Miller. Brought down at the 33, but not before he gets 10. Louisiana Tech pushing the tempo.
And after giving up a long run defensively, they don't have a chance to substitute now. They've got to get ready to go because the offense is going tempo.
Looking to throw on first down. Finds his tight end. Final timeout taken by the Bulldogs. And they won't be able to stop the clock again for the remainder of this half. Just a quick rhythm throw there and really good use of the tight end.
Yeah, good use of the big fella. I mean, go through your progressions real quick. You can't find anything. Get the easy gain. Don't take a shot down the field all the time. Take those shots later, but take those easy, wide-open opportunities.
Intercepted. A first-half turnover can swing momentum. Trying to take it back. They finally get him down, but a huge return. Not only do they get the ball back, but, man, did they set up some field position. Inside 30 seconds to play in the half. We'll see how aggressive they are on this drive. They'll start this drive going to the air. Here comes the heat. It's incomplete. He was shooting for the end zone right there.
And you got to feel good about where you're at on this field, man. The defense forces the turnover, sets you up so good. Now, the whole playbook is wide open. First down, they go with the pass. I would not be surprised if they turn right around here, try to get more physical, try to run the football, and try to capitalize on this field position.
Back to pass. He's got it on the run. That throw and catch gets them down to the 6, and the defense is running out of answers. Timeout taken by the offense is their second. And they'll still have one in their pocket for what's left in this first half. Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. He's looking to throw on 3rd and short. Pocket breaking down. And he just throws it away. That is not what you're looking for on 3rd down. 4th down coming up. Their hope for a touchdown gone by the boards, but they'll try to put up 3 before going to the locker room. Smashes it between the uprights. It's now a 1-point game, 14-13.
Well, it's a good news, bad news scenario. You got the pick, and you would have liked to have paid that off with a touchdown, but because the drive stalls out, they're still happy to get the field goal.
And he takes this from inside the 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. Just enough time for one final play in this half. Using his legs, it's Brooks. Crosses the 30, he's got a lane. Out to the 32-yard line before he goes out of bounds, and that's the way to give a little start to the drive. And we are headed to halftime. Both squads headed into the locker room to make some adjustments. Gives us an opportunity to check in with Kevin Connors in our EA Sports College Football Studio Update.
Man, notable storylines all across the sport today. So let's roll up our sleeves and get you updated here in Week 6. Let's begin with a look at Virginia taking on the Syracuse Orange.
On the move from inside his 5. And they'll get him on the ground as the offense comes out to start the next drive. Holly, what's the story as we start this second half?
The Bulldogs head coach told me at the half, listen, things have not been going right lately, but they have found some momentum here in this ball game. He said, I know we've got a lot of clock left, a lot of game left, but it all starts right now to continue to believe they get the ball to start the second half, and we'll see if they take that first half momentum into the third. Back to you.
Okay, Holly. They'll go to work in the air on second down. The sure hands, it's Booth. Changing on the move. It'll be a first down at the 29. Pass completion moves the sticks in. Let's see if they try it again. Quarterback adjusting the pattern. Looking to throw on first down. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball. Working well behind the sticks on second down. Looking to fire. Bringing the heat. And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
Well, he didn't have a whole lot of time to get rid of that one. The defense was all over him right after the snap. No wonder that thing fell incomplete.
Ball's at the 29. Defense can taste getting off the field. It's 3rd and long. Trying to make magic with his feet. He stopped at the 32-yard line. Not enough for the first down. On 4th down, they're taking to the air. Oh, he dropped it. He just lost his concentration and didn't look it all the way in. A bold decision to go for it on 4th down, and one that did not pay off. The running back has it. And he got 5 yards on the play, 2nd and 5 coming.
Definitely been tough sledding for this guy, especially in the first half. They gave him the ball a bunch, but they just don't have a ton of yards on the ground to show for it at this point. That looked like a pretty good run, though. You just wonder maybe in the second half, if they keep giving him the football, it may start paying some dividends.
And they'll bring him to the ground after a short gain. Ball's at the 26. It's 3rd and short, and they'd love to pick up the first down and avoid settling for the field goal. All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
Hey, finally, we see a nice gain. That's his best run of the game. And this offense works best when he is going. And then you can throw the passing game and the play action, and there's more balance. So maybe that's a sight of things to come. Maybe they can get this thing going and get back in this football game.
Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9. Corner's right up on that line of scrimmage. Rides the back and leaves it. Got some room, headed to the goal line. Touchdown, Raging Cajun. And with that one, they jump on top here in the second half. Follow the blockers. The offensive line will take you to the hallelujah land.
And I tell you what, most of the time, Reese, it requires a little bit of skill to find that hole and, slither through a little crack. That was not a crack. That was wide open. Didn't take a lot of vision because the blocking was outstanding.
He'll bring it out. Just able to get out to the 18-yard line on the return before he stopped. Here comes the Bulldog offense out to start the drive. That 4th down gamble didn't pay off on the last drive, and it led to giving up a scoring drive, David.
Yeah, and everybody wants to go for it on 4th down. Everybody wants that, but your defense sometimes has to bail out your decision-making. We decided to go for it. We didn't get it. The defense, Jesse, didn't come up big and prove me right.
Yeah, not complimentary football, no doubt. But look, this offense has been in these situations before, so you've got to come back out here, take the field. It's a fresh set of downs, brand new drive. Let's go out and execute with some points on the board.
And that goes down as incompletion, but that's a smart play. And the QB coach and the OC will be very happy with the decision of the quarterback. He got outside the pocket. He obviously was he's outside the tackle box. He knew he could throw it away as long as he got it past the line of scrimmage. Nothing there, nothing open. Live to fight another down.
The Bulldogs will snap it on 1st and 10. Offense changing the play. Looking downfield on 1st down. He spins thing down the middle. And it goes through his hands. Oh, he had an explosive play right there for the taking, but couldn't reel it in. Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. They'll throw again after the incompletion. Just too much mustard on that one. Can't miss the target that badly.
Man, the quarterback threw that ball hard, too. And I know sometimes when you're throwing an in-breaking route, you want to get it to your receiver quickly. But when you try to strain and throw it harder, oftentimes your accuracy is what suffers. And you saw it there on the incompletion.
Looking to throw again. Working that left side now. Love to see these 3rd down conversions on offense, and they're out to their own 39-yard line.
Well, look, that wasn't a touchdown, but that was a massive play for this offense. They needed some momentum. They needed to find a rhythm, and what better way than converting on 3rd down. Awesome job by the quarterback getting through his progression.
To the air on 1st down. And he fires a dirt ball. Man, oh man, would he like to have that pass back.
This is going to be tough sledding for this quarterback now. You're trailing, you're in the second half. Defense knows you've got to throw it. You're going to have to sit in the pocket under duress and start making throws.
Finding some room. A big play. Gets it into plus territory, and they'll mark him out of bounds at the 44. And the Bulldogs back to the line on first down. Let's see if they keep leaning on this running game. The run inside. It's Miller. They'll get him stopped at the 34. He's got 10 yards on that one and a first down. The Bulldogs kept this drive moving on the ground. Now back to work. Making side adjustments here. Wants to throw on first down. Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be second down. This defense just can't get off the field. The offense unstoppable. Back to pass on second down. And he throws his third pick of the day. His head has to be spinning. A sweet return after the pick, and they'll have it at the 43.
Not all DBs make the play at the end, right? They can bat the ball down, they can be in position, but they don't really secure the football. Great job by the DB securing the football and forcing the turnover.
Wide receiver going in motion. Keeping it on the ground inside. It's Reagan. Oh, he's got some space. He's finally brought down, but he takes it all the way to the 6.
What a run. Great speed, great vision, elusiveness, and David, he's tackled down close to the goal line.
Yeah, and this offense, when you can run the football like this, man, you will have success, especially in the red zone, trying to get touchdowns.
Running the red zone. It's Reagan. And he surges across the line. Touchdown, Cajuns.
And this running back is so dangerous down close to the end zone. He's got wiggle, he's got great vision and burst, and he showed all of those attributes right there.
He stopped short on the two-point conversion attempt. They went right back to the well with the man who scored the touchdown, but he couldn't get it in for the 2. On the run from inside his own 5. Tackled and brought down at the 23-yard line, so not a whole lot of room on that return. Opening play of this drive will come from their own 23. Looking to throw on first down. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces second down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. To the air on second down. Throwing right. Just missed his man. Gave him just a little too much.
And that's how pressure on a quarterback can affect the passing game. They were able to get after him on that play, and as a result, the QB made a bad decision, forcing that football into double coverage.
Might be changing the route. On third down, he drops to throw. Fires to the wideout. Another incompletion on third down.
And you got to expect this offense to go for it again here on fourth down.
Guys, look at this. I'm surprised they're going to gamble and go for it here on fourth down. On fourth down, going to the air. Oh, he dropped it. Just didn't look it all the way in, and they'll turn it over on downs. And that decision will be questioned for a while. Great place to start for this offense. Got a man. It's Sampson.
Great effort by the defense here. Offense trying to go wide receiver screen. How about the speed on defense rallying to the football?
Time winding down in the quarter as they come to the line. Handoff to the single back. Got enough space. Touchdown, Louisiana. And they take it in for 6 more points. No midseason doldrums for these guys as they push out the lead in week 6. Now they have extended this lead, guys, starting to put the hammer, but sometimes a rivalry game can give you a little of extra fight back.
And there can be no panic at this point now. You've worked too hard this offseason, David. They've had this game circled for so long. You've got to play your best football right now and fight back.
And you just need something good to happen on this next possession. You got to get the crowd back into this football game. Big rivalry. Get some emotion. Get some momentum on your side.
Timeout called by the Bulldogs. That's their first. And that will leave them with just 2 timeouts to use the rest of the way. Lining up to add another. The kick is up and good and put one more on the lead. They got the ball in great field position and bam, bam, 2 plays and into the end zone. He'll start the return inside his 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. Time for one more snap before the end of the quarter. Wants to throw on first down off the play fake. This one's complete. Makes the tackle at the 30 after he picked up 10. That's going to do it for the quarter, guys. Louisiana has the lead here. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. One more period to go, and we'll see just how much fight they've got left in them. They go back to work in the final period of this one. Looking to throw on first down. And he just flat dropped it. I think he wanted to run before he secured it. Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. Couldn't connect on first down. Now back to the air. Trying to make magic on the scramble.
It's just so nice to have a QB under center. Nowadays in football, you can trust these guys. You put so much on their plate, and you tell them, go get positive yards when it's there. And a lot of these guys are such great athletes, they do it with ease.
Complete. Such a big part to convert these third downs, and they've got it at the 42. Maybe this will breathe a little life into this offense, which has been flatlined in the second half. Here's 1st and 10. Trying play action. Incomplete. He had to get rid of it before he wanted to. The defense put the heat on. They're dealing with a 2nd and long. Back to pass. Here's the pressure. He's sacked. This defense all over him. The defense coming up big there, and the sack is great, but the secondary deserves some credit too.
No doubt. When you can cover like that in the secondary and drop back in your zone and only rush a few, and you feel comfortable getting home and they're going to get to the quarterback, that is a great feeling, and that's fun to be.
Look at this, guys. The offense appears to be going for it from their own side of the field. They're throwing for it on 4th down. Fires to the right. Drop the football, and they'll turn it over on downs. They thought they had a good plan, but it did not work. This offense has it with really good field position. They'll move the tight end. Gives it on the option. Maybe some room here. Oh, my goodness, he's still moving. Touchdown, Raging Cajuns. And the punishment has been extended. They add on another one, and they're about to push their record to 5-1. And with the extra point, they push the lead out a little further. An impressive run from the back. Gets him 6 points, good drink of water, and maybe a little oxygen.
He definitely needs some oxygen after that long run, but it looks simple, right? Just handing the ball off, but when you can make big plays like this in the run game, man, does it make offense fun.
Here comes the Louisiana Tech offense back onto the field. What a turn that last drive was. Didn't pick up the fourth down, and it led to the scoring drive, David.
Yeah, and those are frustrating because you think you might get points and then your defense gives up points. This has got to be a complementary football type deal. The offense now needs to provide a little spark and give this defense some hope.
No doubt, David. They got to turn the page, and they've got to play with a little bit more urgency here, knowing they've got to get that one back and put a good drive together.
Second down, he'll throw it. And the pressure gets there. And down he goes at the 18. Defense all revved up after that earlier sack, and they'll try to stop him right here. On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Another hit on the quarterback. All day long, this defense has been able to pin their ears back and get after this guy, and because of that, he's never gotten into a rhythm throwing the football, and that's why they find themselves trailing here late in the 4th quarter.
He's got enough, and they roll the dice on 4th down, and they keep the drive alive. Finally, some signs of life from this offense, which has done nothing in the second half. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw, it's Baker. He turns that loose down the right side. Got it down the field. Lots of green grass as he gets it to the 31. Louisiana Tech is really moving the football. Looking downfield on 1st down. He finds a soft spot in the middle. There to make the tackle, but the big throw is good enough to give them a 1st down. And the Bulldogs come to the line with a fresh set of downs thanks to that last connection in the passing game. It's complete to the right. They get it down to the 7 on that pass play in prime position for a score. Defense is backed up. Shadow of the goalpost trying to defend their own end zone. Missed receiver there. It's incomplete.
At this point of the game in the 4th quarter, it is going to be tough for this offense to get some completions here because now, trailing by this much, the defense is expecting pass, and they're putting a whole bunch of extra deep.
Touchdown, Bulldogs! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house. And now they'll empty the backfield for the 2-point try. Keeps it on the draw. He's brought down, and that one never had a chance, and the 2-point conversion attempt fails. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. The Louisiana offense heads out onto the field to start this drive. How good have they been the last couple of drives? Took a close game, turned it into a blowout, and they have the football back. They keep it on the ground. Clock is their friend. He'll get a fresh set of downs, stopped at the 31-yard line. It's 1st and 10 from the 31. Running inside. It's Reagan. What will they dial up on 2nd and a long way to go? Right back to him on the ground. And how about the work up front by that big defensive line?
And that was a big-time stop defensively. Being physical, creating a negative play on that last run. Now you're setting up 3rd down. This is the critical time. You've got to find a way to get off the field. You're trailing late in the game. Give it back to your offense to go see if they can score.
Snags it, and he's open. Past the 30, the 20. Touchdown, Cajuns! And the pummeling has started. They extend this lead, and it looks as if they are going to make it 2 wins in a row. And they finish it off with a touchdown and seal up this game.
Yeah, this might be what you call garbage time, and it might not really matter because you know the game's out of reach, but I like it. Keep executing, keep finding some more plays. Hey, maybe you find a play later on down the season you might come back to and say, hey, this actually worked in this situation.
Well, you could draw a line in the middle, and he would have hit that thing. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Just able to get out to the 18-yard line on the return before he stopped. Louisiana Tech starts this drive as the offense goes on the attack. This has been a really disappointing performance, David, no question about that, but they can find some positives.
Yeah, and every time you watch the tape, you know, Jess
makes the catch down the right side. Timeout taken by the offense is their second. And they'll still have one timeout left at their disposal. Big play to start this drive, and they're already out at the 48. It's first down. To throw, it's Baker. Unloads to the wideout. Grabbed in the middle. And oh no, he loses the ball at the end of the run. Defense falls on the ball. Going to be a turnover. We've got a timeout here as this coach is challenging the call. He wants to give the replay booth a chance to have another look. Might have to give that coach a flag and a whistle. He was right on in his view of the play, and the officials agree and overturn the call. The Bulldogs come to the line on the heels of that big pass play. To the air on first down. Throws to the wideout. Finds a man on the left. He stopped just short of the goal line at the 1. An explosive play has him set up. He wants to change this route. He wants to throw it. Oh, they're after him. He just wisely got rid of that one. The worst thing that can happen to you is to turn it over on first down in the red zone. They'll try it again from the 1 on second and goal. Ball into the end zone, and it's intercepted.
Heat up them pass rushers, bring in them DBs. That's what I'm doing in this situation. When I got the lead by a couple scores late in the ball game, in the fourth quarter, I'm going to rush the passer like crazy. I'm going to put all those DBs back playing the pass. That's what happened. Great job understanding they're going to have to take shots. We get the interception. This one's almost over.
They are backed up. Defense smelling blood as this drive starts at the 5. From the gun, the ground game. And the defense snows him under after a very short game. With the clock running, this should be the final play. This is why the passion of college football runs so deep. The rivalries, and when you lose, man, does it stick with you.
No doubt about it, Reese. This was a game circled for a very, very long time. They knew how important this one was. But, David, you can't let games like this beat you twice because this losing team now has to find a way to rebound and go out and play again.
No doubt, got to rebound, but this one stings. This is the one that you have circled for a reason. It's a rival. It's bragging rights, but you're right. Let's get back to practice this next week. Let's start focusing. This one's over, but I'm going to get you next year.
That's going to do it for us here. For David Pollack, Jesse Palmer, and Holly Rowe, I'm Reese Davis. This has been a presentation of EA Sports College Football.